basketball media brand made by fans for the fans. Got another full house on this evening. Welcome to the panel. RJ, how's it going?
Yeah, good. D-Swizzle, what's going on, man? Can't wait to talk ball today, right now, man.
Mate. Shoot him up. What's up, T?
Hey, man. Hey, a bit sad because the NBA is ending soon. But the off-season shouldn't be too long. So we're hearing things about that. So maybe we get into it.
That's it. And Coach Lloyd?
Man, it's going to Game 7. We're going to Game 7.
Yeah.
Right? We're going longer. We're going a couple more days. A lot more days.
Well, more on that in this episode, because we'll have a little bit of fun in this episode after we get down past the analysis of Game 4. We'll pick it up from there on Game 4. Lakers beating the Heat 102-96. Your thoughts, T, on the game and where the game was won by the Lakers?
Yeah, my analysis on the game was they played the Heat the same way in the first quarter, and Jimmy was 5 on 5 from the field. Then they made a switch. They decided to go under the screen. Dare Jimmy to shoot the jumper, which he didn't make after the first quarter. And the second thing was a key moment of the game is putting AD, which he wasn't doing much, on Jimmy. So LeBron had to bear all the burden of scoring, rebounding, and assists. AD wasn't firing, so they used him another way. They used him as a defensive stopper. So those three things were pretty much the three key things for me. It kind of jammed up Jimmy and the rest of the Heat, because everything that came from game 3 victory came from Jimmy. Jimmy being able to drive, Jimmy being able to drive and dish. And the Lakers took that away, and which they've had all season. The Lakers, throughout this whole playoffs, have shown just the flexibility of adapting to their opponents. Looking at their opponents for the whole playoffs, all came in different sizes and different strengths, and the Lakers were able to adapt. That's my analysis.
They minimized the Heat's best player. Didn't contain him as a whole. I mean, Jimmy still put up a huge box score, 22 points, 10 rebounds, 9 assists, almost a triple-double to go with 3 steals and a block. But it's, like you said, it's putting on a different look and coverage of a taller player, more length, elite defensive presence in AD, which was telling for the victory for the Lakers. RJ, what's your take on the win, and where possibly the Heat could improve in the next game?
Well, when I first watched it, T was right. I mean, when Jimmy was catching fire, he pretty much hit almost every shot he put up. I thought, oh man, this is going to be a long game. But as the game progressed, I can see that, of course, number one will always be LeBron, but the number two, well, we think is Davis. But when I saw Davis not really hitting his stroke, and I thought, oh no, this is the problem. But when KCP started picking up his game and the rest of them, I thought, okay, we've got a game here, but Jimmy's not really doing what he did last game, which I thought they're not going to win unless he does that again. So Jimmy has to duplicate his performance from last game for the next couple of games. I don't think he can do it. I think he may be gassed out a little bit, but Miami will have to step up big, as in Hero has to do more, Nunn has to do more, Adebayo has to do more. But I knew that because I'm an LA fan, it's biased, but I knew the Lakers were going to pull this through because the sense of urgency is there. I saw that with KCP's play. So for me, I knew they were going to win. But yeah, I'm sorry, but I don't think. And now, I don't know if you heard today, they're wearing the Mamba jerseys the next game. I think that's it, dude. I think that's it, dude. I think that's it. I think that's the cherry on top. Sorry.
Big call there. They are 4-0 in the playoffs wearing the Mamba jersey. So I think they've certainly put they want to certainly make a statement for the next game, wanting to close it out. Coach, the play of the bench for both sides was telling in this game. fourth quarter stretch, you see Morris play a big role. You see, even in the first half, Caruso provided some spark of energy. Do you think that the Lakers bench has outplayed the Heat's bench in this series so far?
Oh, by far. Guys like Iguodala, Nunn, and then Olynyk started. He didn't start, but he came in and played big minutes in the game 2 and 3, and it was actually effective. He became more of a problem for the Lakers, and then in game 4 he plays 12 minutes and gets 4 points, whereas in the previous ones he plays 37 and 33, and he gets 24 and 17 in those minutes. It sort of bears on me that Adebayo comes back and plays a lot of minutes, but is only productive in the time that he's there. Maybe they can play both together. There was a stretch that they played in game 4. They played both together, and it was actually really effective because Olynyk stretches the floor. It stops Davis guarding Butler, and he has to go and guard Olynyk. It makes it effective for Butler to go to work, because then KCP has to go and guard him, or Kyle Kuzma, who couldn't guard the toilet seat when he was sitting on it. That makes him guard him. We all laugh, but he actually can't. He couldn't guard Butler to save his life. Those are the sort of things that Spoelstra needs to use in the next game. It needs to be a thing for them, Miami, to maybe interject Olynyk early and really use the two big guys with Butler, Tyler Hero, and maybe Duncan Robinson. And then you've got 4 guys that can shoot, and then Adebayo can do what he does in the paint. It creates havoc for the Lakers, because the Lakers don't really guard the perimeter very well. They really struggle. And that's something that they maybe need to think about in the next one. Maybe just interject Olynyk early. Iguodala can come in for Butler and Adebayo and Hero and things like that, but maybe they need to shrink that roster. I don't think Kendrick Nunn's going to do much for them. He might hit that maybe pull-up jumper, but I think Olynyk needs to play 30 minutes in the next game for them to be effective, because he plays 33 and 37 and gets 24 and 17. And then he plays 12 minutes in game 4 and gets 4 points. He's not used effectively. And he's a guy that can score.
Well, he certainly wasn't efficient in game 4, going 2 of 11. What was the surprising stat for me was it took, and I could be corrected on this, the 3rd most shots in the Heat team, which says a lot when you've got Butler and Bam and Hero, who are far better, and Robinson, who are far better offensive weapons. But I just thought that was quite an inefficient display, given that they only lost by 6 points. It could have turned here and there, and it was close, and the game was tied with 6.5 to go in the 4th. So these are telling inefficiencies.
And Jay Crowder plays 35 minutes and gets 8 points.
Yeah.
I know he guarded Davis most of the time, but still, Davis got 22. But it's not what he did on the floor. He had 3 stupid fouls, 3 in a row, because of what he didn't do right. He failed to box out 3 times in a row. Twice was LeBron, and he had to foul, and then LeBron sort of got dirty at him. But if he did the right thing the first time, he wouldn't have had to foul. It's the little things like that mean the most for Miami to get through in games. They need to do those little things to get the big picture for them to get the win.
Yeah. It's a sort of like a different mentality here. I think Miami are lacking that killer instinct about them at the moment. You look at KCP, and he's certainly stepped up in this series. Especially in the last game, he hit 2 big shots in the 4th. He's becoming that 3rd offensive weapon for a 3rd consistent and reliable offensive weapon for the Lakers. How have you evaluated his play, T? Do you even agree that he's the 3rd option? Firstly,
I think the third option for the Lakers is ever revolving door.
Yeah.
But in terms of him shot out to Clutch Sports. Like one of the question marks of the Lakers getting him, was it just to get him to get LeBron, and then to fish him in to get AD, like to just appease the company. So this is the chat on the internet. But in terms of third best option, he was the third best option in the last game. He came up clutch.
No pun intended.
Pun included every time.
Fair go.
So he hit the big shots. He's playing really consistently. If you have LeBron James and AD on your team playing any game in the world, you have all the confidence in the world. All he has to do is hit his shots. That's what he said after their loss. He goes, I know exactly what I have to do. I just miss my shots. If you approach the game that way, he keeps on taking his shot, which is fine. And he had to step up in the bubble because Avery Bradley's not available.
That's right.
And he's playing up to that thing. Like, they want him for defense, but he's given whatever offense they can give him is a bonus. In terms of third option, he has been there, but it's an evolving door. It can be Kyle Kuzma, it can be Rondo, it can be anyone. So.
Well, he's only played a big game, the last one, 15 points, 3 rebounds, and 5 assists, complementing the big two. LeBron had a huge game, again, 50% from the field, 28 points, 12 rebounds, 8 assists, was very aggressive, got to the line 12 times, made 10 of those shots, and Davis had a better game 4 showing than his game 3 showing, with 22 points, 9 rebounds, and 4 assists, and telling 4 blocks. He came up really big, especially in the clutch, with his defensive plays, and then the dagger 3 to seal the win at the end there. Lloyd, Davis, is he, if they do win, and this is a big if, they do win the next game and take out the title, will Davis be the MVP of the finals? Will he get the finals MVP? Nope.
No, not at all. LeBron took them yesterday. He took them the game before when Davis was struggling. He took them again in game 4. Game 2, it was up in the air. And then game 1, Davis had a great one, but LeBron still wasn't far behind. LeBron still is leading the team. When Davis had foul trouble in the previous, he still did what he had to do. He still passes the ball well. I mean, he still had 8 assists in the last game, and he had 28 points. So, I mean, if you convert those 8 assists to points in 2s, maybe 3s or whatever, that's still 16. That's 44 points or more that he's created. Davis has got 22 and 4 assists. So he basically get 30. So I think LeBron has to, I mean, everyone was saying if they sweep it, then LeBron and AD can play one-on-one for the MVP. I don't think so. LeBron has to be, because he does drive the team and he does do things that no one else does. I mean, Caruso missed basically missed the box out, and Butler got a layup, and he turned around and he gave him that death stare, like, you missed that, and he sort of didn't want to look at him. He knew that he'd done the wrong thing, but that's making people accountable. That's what he does. He's the leader. He makes people accountable. AD missed a box out the other end, and he told him about it. So these are the sort of things that I look at. It's the body language. It's how you lead your team, and if you keep people accountable. He missed the box out at one stage with Crowder, and Crowder got a layup, and he turned around and put his hand up. He's like, I missed that one. There's not many people that would turn around and go, yeah, I did that. But he makes them accountable for what he doesn't do either. So if he misses something, he makes them accountable for what he doesn't do either. So that's a big thing for me, and he has to be the MVP. He has to be the way that he led it.
Hey, coach, but that's something that he's done all season. Like, it isn't new to the playoffs.
It's not new. It's what he's done his whole career.
Yeah.
He makes people accountable. There was one where when they were playing Denver, Murray missed a shot. He was back, and sort of Caruso sort of bludged back. He really bludged back, and then Jokic got in front of him and scored. And then he turns around and he goes, "Get the back. You know, and that's, but he was their back. So it's not that he didn't do it. He was there already. He makes people accountable for what they don't do. And it sort of drives them what they have to do. And that's what I can appreciate. He probably has to be the MVP for this year. He missed out on the regular season MVP, which was, you know, was always going to happen, but he can always get MVP.
Well, the only reason why I bring this up is because what I'm finding in terms of a trend is AD is taking the big money shots at closeout games. He did it with Denver, game 2. Had another big shot again in the clutch in this game. Only reason why I'm saying it, or only reason why I'm bringing it up. Any thoughts on that, Jay? Or anyone? Yeah. Any takers?
They don't get to that big shot unless someone carries them to that big shot.
That's right.
Amen.
I agree with that.
Look, I'm not LeBron hating. I'm just keeping it real. All right.
If LeBron went to New York,
Which you won't, because that's a really dumb move.
but remember when he retired, he spoke to Dwayne Wade. When Dwayne Wade was retiring, he goes, "Yeah, it can happen in LA or New York." So he was thinking about it. There was an option, sir.
We didn't want him, mate. We didn't want him.
Here we go. Here we go.
All right. That's another debate for another day. All right. We'll move on. We'll move on this one. The Lakers taking a 3-1 series lead have the opportunity to take out their first title since 2010 and their 17th title overall should they win on Saturday morning Australian Eastern Standard Time. Tying, if they do win and win their 17th overall title, tying the Boston Faithful and the Boston Celtics, which will be interesting as well if it does come to fruition. However, what we'll do, let's have a bit of fun now and let's debate whether or not the Lakers can actually bring this one home, or will it be another 3-1 choke moment that will go down in infamy in NBA history. We've sort of broken up this segment into teams, and the Laker boys, T and RJ, will bat for their team and make an argument. And Coach and I will make our case for the Miami Heat and their comeback. Each person will have 1 minute to make their case, and I got my little trusty timer back from its
Back from the museum.
Back from its appearance on a previous debate. Who should go first? Thoughts?
I'll go Miami.
We'll go Miami.
We'll let Miami go first because they're down 3-1 at the moment.
Okay.
So.
What we'll do is we'll go Coach, and then we'll go RJ, and then I'll go up.
Okay.
And then T, you could bring it home.
Sounds like fun.
All right. Here we go. Coach, your minute starts now.
All right. So Miami they know what they need to do, right? They need to play Olynyk more. They need to get Iguodala more involved. He needs to take more shots. They know that they need to guard LeBron. They need to guard Davis. They're the sort of the catalyst, but they can't let other guys get off. So KCP, they can't let other guys get 15 and above double figures. Crowder, Butler, Adebayo, and Robinson and Hero can shoot like there's no tomorrow. They need to get more shots off, and that's going to be their key. The Lakers can't guard the perimeter, which is evident because they foul Robinson every time that he shoots the ball, and Hero gets wide open looks when he wants them. They need to continue to go to that. Don't feel like it's a negative. Keep it as a positive. How long have I got?
5 seconds.
Miami know what they need to do. They're going to win it. They're going to do the next game. They know what they need to do.
Well done, Coach. Well done. Well done. How do I stop this? All right. Next up, Jay for the Lakers.
Yeah.
Your time starts now.
Let's start at the top with the leaders. They need to sort of set their tone, get everyone locked in prior game time, and know what it's at stake. So literally, they already announced that they were going to use the Mamba jerseys for game five, sorry. So they already know what that means, and they have a motivation behind that. They know that they're doing this for Kobe, if you think about it. So I think with that much motivation behind them, with their caliber of the team from 1 to 12 or 1 to 14, how many there is in their team, I think it's locked. I think it's done. All you need is, once you see LeBron with that face, with that game face, I'm sorry, Miami, but you need to start going back to the training camp and refiguring your players. Because once LeBron 80s gets going, and then you got to get with the third. You either get someone like a Kuzma
MVP.
or get someone get going, then it's done. We're set.
Strong. That's pretty strong. All right, I'm up.
Let's go. Here we go.
Here we go.
The show begins.
Don't start that thing late either. Don't start it late.
No. Sarah, here we go. 1 minute. I got 1 minute to make it happen.
I'm starting my clock too.
Go, Heat, go. All right, here we go. First point, 2 days rest. I think Bam needs it. Dragic might be coming back for game 5. So 2 key personnel, Dragic being their lead scorer in the playoffs so far. Second point I'd like to make, their 3-point percentages have been low, especially in the last game. They only made, 11 of 32. During the regular season, there was a second best shooting 3-point team in the league at scoring 37.9% from deep. I think they can turn it around. They've certainly got the shooters in Robinson, Hero, and also Dragic to make that happen. And my final point, and I'm going to wrap it up, is confidence. I still love their confidence, the way Butler talks up their team. I think Butler is a great leader, and also that he keeps that swagger about them. And I think their confidence is going to take them to their title. Boom.
Good argument. Good points, Dex. I love it. It's good.
T, one
Yep.
for the Lakers to take it home. 1
Wrap
minute.
it up, man. Wrap it up. Take it home.
Let's
Go.
Yeah, I don't need that much time, I guess. RJ's already pointed a lot of forms out there. I want to focus on LeBron James. He's never had a 3-1 lead. I guess before this podcast, I was trying to search when in the finals he ever had a 3-1 lead, and it's never. That's just never. He approaches every game in the finals as Game 7. Like the way they lost that one game against Miami, he was already walking off the court with 10 seconds left. So the amount of hate, the team got smashed after that game from himself, letting them know about the opportunity they have in front of them. And now, once they get into the next game, 48 minutes, they can be champions, and they can back it up, being undefeated in the Mamba jerseys, which will be a selling point for all the fans out there. Unbeatable jerseys. That's my tagline when they do marketing on these jerseys for sure.
You needed more than a minute.
I didn't think I took that long. But key thing was LeBron James 3-1 is over.
So, look, all good points. That was a little bit of fun in who we believe or are advocating to win this year's NBA Finals. It's certainly going to come down to. I still think it's going to be very competitive.
Definitely.
You know, the Heat are resilient, and I think they can still win this series with Coach Lloyd taking in 7. I think so. Watch this space. Next game is coming straight to you Saturday morning Sydney time. Before we wrap up the show, big shout out to the Seattle Storm taking their 4th WNBA crown yesterday. Thoughts on their victory, Coach? It was very impressive the way they dominated.
It was definitely impressive. I mean, to win against the Aces, who have the MVP Asia Wilson, she's phenomenal player. But Brianna Stewart, Sue Bird, and the Aussie Ezzy Magbagor, shout out to her. She gets a little shout out because she's in the team and actually played in the finals. They beat the Aces by 13, and then 33. The last one was it was a dominant performance. You can't really take it past Brianna Stewart. She's the MVP. She was the MVP for so many years. She won it 2 years ago before she did her Achilles. She was the MVP of the World Cup when they beat Australia by 24 back in 2018. That was always going to happen, but it was a strong Australian team, but she just led the way. And she did the same thing for the Storm in the WNBA finals. The WNBA, same as the NBA, they've been in the bubble since game 1. So the NBA had a bit of an early start, but the girls have had a full bubble experience, and now they're finished. But shout out to Seattle, they did a great job. Lauren Jackson's team, shout out to Lauren Jackson. But yeah, and the other Aussie girl, Ezzy Magbagor, phenomenal athlete, and we're looking forward to, hopefully we get Tokyo 2021 and we get a medal for Australia. But yeah, shout out to Seattle. They just dominated the whole WNBA playoffs.
Yeah.
They didn't lose a game. They did not lose one game.
Look, Brianna Stewart's stat line for the finals series: 28.3 points, 7.3 rebounds, 62.8% from the field. Goodness, and 65% from 3-point land. It's almost gaming, like 2K style there. So shout out to the Storm on a great season, culminating in a victory. It's coming to the very, very pointy end of the NBA season, and here at the Shooters Roll, we'll keep you up to date with the latest news and game analysis coming up after Game 5 this weekend. And hopefully you could tune in and drop us a line at Shooters Roll, and also keep following our content on Instagram and Facebook, and also our YouTube channel. So, gents, always a pleasure.
Absolute pleasure.
Thank you, gentlemen.
I like to win.
Hopefully,
Pleasure, guys.
hopefully we get Game 7. If all cases, Game 7 is the best fan thing in the world.
I only need one more minute to.
Game 7.
I only need one more minute to say that they will get to Game 7, but I'll hold that one for next time. All right. So,
we'll basically do it for the fans. We're about the fans. Fans want more basketball.
Yeah. So next time, thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you on the next one.